isn't just a song, it's a reckoning, a whisper from the grave, a curse wrapped in melody. It happened on a storm-choked night, years before Phil Collins became a name the world would never forget. He stood on the shore, rain slicing his skin, waves churning like living things. And out there, in the roiling abyss, a man was drowning. Phil could do nothing. He was too far, too helpless. But someone else was there. Close enough. A dark silhouette loomed at the water's edge, watching, waiting. The drowning man thrashed, shrieked, pleaded. The shadow never moved. Then silence. The ocean swallowed him whole. Phil never saw the bystander's face, but he never forgot. The image festered in his mind, a wound that refused to heal. He poured his horror, his rage, his helplessness into In the Air Tonight. Every verse dripped with the memory of that night, of the unshakable truth. Someone could have saved that man, but they chose not to. And then, the legend twists. Years later, Phil performed the song live. A packed stadium. The air buzzed with electric anticipation, but in the front row sat a man, his face slack with fear, hands clenched so tightly his knuckles turned white. Phil saw him, knew him. As the spotlight burned down, the man shrank into his seat, sweat beading on his brow. Phil leaned into the mic, his voice a dagger. Well, if you told me you were drowning, I would not lend a hand. The man convulsed. The blood drained from his face. His breath hitched in his throat as if unseen hands had clamped around it. When the final note rang out, the crowd roared. But the man in the front row sat eerily still. His head lolled forward. His eyes, wide and glassy, stared at nothing. They found him dead moments later. No wounds, no struggle. Only sheer, unfiltered terror etched into his lifeless face. Some say it was guilt that killed him. Others believe something darker rose from the depths that night. Something that never forgot the taste of water filling its lungs. And if you listen closely, really listen, to In the Air Tonight, beneath the drums, beneath the lyrics, you might hear it. A voice, a whisper, a gasp for air. The Dover Demon is a chilling legend that has haunted the small town of Dover, Massachusetts since the spring of 1977. Over the course of 2 terrifying nights, 3 separate witnesses claimed to encounter a creature so otherworldly, its image has burned itself into local lore forever. The first sighting occurred on April 21st, when 17-year-old William Bartlett was driving down a dark, deserted road. As his headlights pierced the night, they illuminated something that shouldn't exist. Perched on a low stone wall was a creature with skin the color of pale, sickly flesh, stretched taut over its gaunt John's oversized head was grotesquely round, with glowing orange eyes that burned like smoldering embers. It had no nose, no mouth, just an empty, silent stare that seemed to bore into his very soul. The second encounter happened just hours later. John Baxter, walking home through a wooded path, was startled by a grotesque silhouette in the shadows. The figure moved with a jerking, unnatural gait, its limbs impossibly long and frail. It followed him, closing the distance without a sound, before vanishing into the dark forest. Baxter swore its glowing eyes never wavered from him. The final sighting came from Abby Brabham the next evening. She described a gangly, otherworldly creature crouched near a stream, its elongated fingers clutching at the earth, as if searching for something, its gaze locked on her, those unblinking, fiery eyes paralyzing her with an unnatural dread. No tracks, no evidence, no explanation was ever found. Skeptics called it a hoax, but those who saw it still tremble when they recall its stare. Some whisper the creature wasn't of this world, while others fear it still lurks in Dover's shadowy woods, watching, waiting. The Dover demon remains an enigma, a sinister reminder that the unknown might be closer than we think, and it's always watching from the dark. On the evening of September 20th, 1965, the quiet town of Felixstowe, England, became the site of a terrifying encounter with something otherworldly. It was a crisp night when residents witnessed an extraordinary phenomenon that defied explanation. Something that would forever haunt the town's history. The air grew thick, and a strange, unnatural glow lit up the sky. What they saw that night was like seen before. A fire demon, an immense fiery entity, descended from the dark sky. Its flames blazed with an intensity so fierce they cast a hellish red hue across the landscape, turning the streets into a fiery labyrinth. The creature moved with eerie fluidity, its form shifting and writhing as it hovered above the ground. Witnesses described it as a massive, burning figure, its eyes glowing with an infernal light, its presence suffocating and oppressive. Panic spread through the town as the demon floated above, casting a shadow over Felix Stowe that seemed to drain all warmth from the air. The heat from its flames was unbearable, yet it did not scorch the earth beneath it. And then, as suddenly as it appeared, the fire demon vanished, leaving the townspeople paralyzed with fear and confusion. To this day, no explanation has been found for the sighting. Some say it was a visit from beings beyond the stars. Others claim it was something much darker. But those who saw it never forgot the horror of that night. The night Felix Stowe was touched by the flames of something far more terrifying than fire then. The ghost of Kiev is a haunting legend born from the heart of war, a spectral figure that has terrified and fascinated those who have heard the tale. During the harrowing days of the 2022 Russian invasion of Ukraine, as Kiev was besieged and the sky filled with smoke and terror, a mysterious fighter pilot appeared. This ghostly figure, said to be a Ukrainian ace, flew a sleek, deadly aircraft across the battle-scarred skies of Kiev, striking down Russian planes with unnatural precision. Some say the ghost of Kiev was a living hero. Others claim he was a spirit, summoned by the very anguish of war. What is certain, however, is that his presence in the air was both a beacon of hope and a harbinger of doom. Witnesses, often terrified civilians watching from the ground, described seeing a lone plane cut through the chaos, its movements swift and unearthly. The ghost Those who spoke of the ghost said his eyes were always just out of sight, hidden beneath the shadows of his helmet, a reflection of the dark grief that hung over Kiev. The legend whispers that the ghost still roams the skies, protecting his people, a figure born of both war and vengeance, never to be caught. Duveland, Wisconsin. If you ask around, some still swear it exists, or once did, but there's no trace of it now. This haunting urban legend tells the chilling story of a town that vanished from the face of the earth without a single explanation. In the 1990s, Duveland was a quiet, sleepy town nestled in the heart of Wisconsin, or so people believed. But as the years wore on, something twisted and unnatural began to happen. People who remembered living there, families, old-timers, even children, suddenly found themselves unable to locate the town on any map. And worse, no one else seemed to recall it ever existing at all. Some claim that Duveland was consumed by something darker, a malevolent force that swept the town away in the dead of night. Those few who still speak of it describe shadows that crept through the streets, strange figures that appeared in the corners of their vision, and an overwhelming sense of dread that permeated the air. Then, just like that, the town was gone. Its buildings, its streets, its people, all erased. Even stranger, a few brave souls who set out to find Duveland say they've seen it, standing there as if frozen in time, yet no one else can see it. They describe an eerie stillness, a ghostly reflection of a town trapped between worlds, as if Duveland had been swallowed whole by some dark void, its very existence erased from reality itself. Some say Duveland isn't gone at all. It's just waiting. And if you're unlucky enough to wander too close, it may pull you into the darkness with it. clown doll is a chilling urban legend that has haunted many late-night conversations. It starts with a seemingly innocent scene. A babysitter left alone with the children in a quiet, suburban home. In the corner of the living room stands a creepy, lifelike clown doll, its painted smile twisted, eyes too bright, frozen in a disturbing gaze. The babysitter, unnerved by the doll's eerie presence, calls the parents to ask if she should move it. But the voice on the other end of the line is calm, almost too calm, as they reply, "We don't own a clown doll." Terrified, the babysitter checks the kids, who are fast asleep, and locks every door. But in the dark silence, a faint sound comes from the living room, a soft scraping, like something moving. Heart racing, she creeps downstairs, only to find the doll gone. Before she can react, she hears footsteps behind her, a cold breath on her neck. The clown doll wasn't a doll at all. It was the murderer, disguised, watching and waiting for the perfect moment to strike. The horror, it's always been in plain sight. On the dark, mist-shrouded waters of the Platte River, there drifts a ship that should not exist, a ghostly vessel known as the Death Ship. First sighted in the mid-1800s, this eerie apparition has haunted the stretch between Alcova and Torrington, Wyoming, ever since. The ship, unnaturally gray and spectral, glides silently across the river's surface, its sails billowing in the windless air, as though propelled by something far more sinister than the breeze. But it's the crew that truly chills the soul. The sailors aboard the Death Ship are no men at all. They are phantoms, pale, hollow-eyed figures who stand motionless on deck, their faces twisted in eternal suffering. They move with an unnatural jerking motion, as though bound by some cruel force that will never allow them peace. seen them react to the world around them. They simply drift, forever trapped on their cursed vessel. Locals speak of the ship's appearance as a death omen. Those who have witnessed it often report a sense of overwhelming dread, as if the ship is drawing them closer to the grave. Some claim that if you stare too long at the ghostly ship, it will come for you, its crew reaching out, cold hands grasping for your soul. Many who have ventured near the river never return, their fates lost to the death ship's eternal voyage. Once you see it, you may never leave the river alive. In the 1950s, a haunting image began to spread across homes in Europe and beyond. A painting that seemed innocent at first, but carried with it an unspeakable curse. It was called The Crying Boy, a portrait of a tear-streaked child with eyes that appeared too knowing, too sorrowful. Painted by Giovanni Bragolin, a pseudonym for the Italian artist Bruno Amadio. The image was mass-produced and hung in countless homes, unwittingly marking them with a dark and sinister fate. People who hung the crying boy on their walls soon began to notice strange, disturbing things. Appliances malfunctioned for no reason. Unexplained fires broke out, always destroying everything but the painting itself. Houses burned to the ground, leaving the cursed child's face untouched, staring from the ashes, his tears glistening like drops of blood. The stories were too widespread to dismiss as coincidence. One family reported their house burning down despite the flames being miraculously contained in every room except the one with the crying boy on the wall. The painting remained untouched, its eyes still weeping, its expression as empty as death itself. Over time, the legend of the cursed painting grew, and so did the fear. People claimed that if you owned the crying boy, you were doomed to suffer tragedy. It was said that the boy in the painting was no ordinary child, but the spirit of a soul lost to the flames. curse will follow you, bringing death and destruction, an unrelenting reminder that the boy's tears are never shed in vain. In the dead of night, under the oppressive weight of the full moon, a sinister pastime thrives in the quiet corners of rural farms. A cruel, twisted game known as cow tipping. The legend speaks of young thrill seekers who, driven by a strange, dark hunger, stalk the unwitting cows as they sleep soundly in the fields. The cows, standing on their hooves, are completely unaware of the danger creeping toward them. Silently, the tipper approaches, each step measured, each breath held. Then, with a single violent shove, the massive creature topples. The thud of the cow crashing to the earth echoes through the still night, a shocking sound that shatters the quiet like a gunshot. The cow, stunned and disoriented, struggles to rise, its heavy body too disoriented to defend itself. But it's not just the thrill of the topple that lingers. There's something deeply unsettling about the practice. Some say it awakens something ancient, a curse bound to the land. There are whispers in the shadows that those who partake in cow tipping may be marked, followed by a presence that never leaves them, a watchful, unseen force that waits. Others say that the cows, though silent, are not as innocent as they appear. They have their own dark secrets, secrets they whisper to the night, seeking vengeance on those who dared disturb their rest. And once the game is played, there's no turning back. In the dark, moonless nights of the Caribbean, a shadow stalks the land, a creature known only as the chupacabra. The name goat sucker strikes fear is a nightmare made flesh, a thing that slinks through the underbrush, its glowing eyes reflecting the terror of the helpless creatures it hunts. First seen in Puerto Rico, the chupacabra is no mere animal. It is a monstrous, nightmarish predator with a hunger that cannot be quenched. Descriptions vary. Some say it has the spiny reptilian back of a creature from the depths of hell. Others speak of a beast with fangs like razors and claws like daggers. But one thing is certain: the chupacabra is a bloodthirsty killer. Livestock, especially goats, are its favored prey. In the dead of night, it strikes without warning. The victim is drained of its blood. The lifeless body left behind is a grim warning to anyone foolish enough to venture too close. The chupacabra doesn't leave a trace, only a chilling, inexplicable silence in the air, and the unmistakable scent of death. To those who have encountered it, the terror is real, and once you know its name, you can never escape its haunting presence. In the desolate, windswept landscape of Escalante, petrified forest, something ancient and malevolent stirs beneath the earth, a curse that punishes those who dare disturb the long-dead remnants of a forgotten world. It is said that if you take even a single shard of petrified wood from the park, you will unleash a chain of misfortune so vile it will haunt you for life. The curse of Escalante is not one to be taken lightly. Those who have taken the petrified wood, some with the best of intentions, have returned home to a life shattered by calamity, job losses, sickness, car accidents. These are the least of the horrors that befall those who steal from the ancient forest. Many have reported feeling an overwhelming sense of dread the moment they lay a hand on the wood, as if something unseen but terribly powerful is watching, waiting. As the legend goes, the spirits of the forest, the souls of those who once walked the earth, guard the petrified trees with an unrelenting fury. They have cursed the land, and anyone who dares themselves spiraling into a nightmare of misfortune and despair. The air is thick with tension in Escalante, and if you ever find yourself there, beware. Touch the wood, and the curse will find you slowly, surely, and with no mercy. In the dark corners of Brentwood, New Hampshire, the name Goody Cole still sends shivers down the spine of those who dare speak it. Eunice Cole, a frail, weathered woman with eyes that seemed to see through the veil of life and death, was condemned to be a witch twice. The first accusation came in 1656, when the village suffered one tragedy after another. Crops withered, children fell ill, and livestock died in grotesque, unnatural ways. Whispers spread like wildfire. It was her, Goody Cole, they said. She was the one responsible for the misfortune that gripped their town in 1673. The accusations resurfaced with a vengeance. Goody Cole was arrested once more, this time charged with witchcraft after the village saw another wave of disaster. Her name became a curse on every passing wind. People claimed she could curse the very earth beneath their feet. Her spells laced with malice and blood. No one truly knows what happened to Goody Cole. Some say she died in a dank, forgotten cell. Her spirit, lingering in the fog that rolls over the town, waiting for the next to dare invoke her name. They say if you wander too far in the woods near Brentwood at night, you might feel her cold, dead gaze upon you. Her laughter echoing through the trees as she beckons you closer into her cursed, eternal grasp. The green-clawed beast is a terrifying creature that has haunted the depths of the Ohio River near Evansville, Indiana, since August 14th, 1955. Descriptions of the beast are chilling and vivid. An amorphous, green-hued humanoid creature with long, grotesque claws that gleam like the sickly green of algae-covered stone. It is said to lurk just beneath the surface, waiting strike, its movement slow and deliberate, hidden beneath the murky water. The first encounter was described by a woman who, while swimming in the river, felt something grip her leg with unnatural strength. She screamed, kicking and flailing as sharp claws dug into her flesh, pulling her under the water. She managed to escape, but the horrifying marks on her leg told the tale of a beast far more sinister than anything known to the locals. The creature's claws are said to be long, curved, and razor sharp, capable of tearing through flesh with terrifying precision. It's been whispered that the green-clawed beast has attacked other women over the years, pulling them beneath the water, where their screams are swallowed by the river. Some say the creature is ancient, a primordial thing that has always existed in the dark, forgotten corners of the river, while others believe it is something more recent, a twisted mutation